Hey everybody, I just got my new balisong in the mail from Exiled Cutlery, www.butterflyknifekits.com. Anyway, I bought the Ti46. Ti46? Ti42. Sorry, a little bit scatterbrained today. But anyway, I'm shooting a video. I'm going to show you how to assemble this. Now, you're going to need a T3 screwdriver bit and a T6 screwdriver bit for this particular build. Titanium handles, D2 spear point or dagger point blade. Sweet, D2. I love D2. All right. Just a few things I just wanted to show you what I use. It's not very many things. Sharpening stone, some Teflon tape. This is good for, in this particular model, no, because it comes with T6 hex screws with a little bit of, oh geez, I don't know if I can get you to, anyway, trust me, there's a little tiny little bit of Loctite stuff on there, and all you got to do is once you install the screw, you give it a little heat with like a hair dryer. Heat it long enough where it starts to become warm enough that you'll be scared to touch it. But a hair dryer, don't use a lighter, don't use a torch, don't use a paint heat gun. But if you do use like a hot air gun, be very careful not to overheat things, because you start to heat things beyond the temper zone of the steel, and you'll anneal the steel and you'll wreck the temper on it. So anyway, just use a hair dryer, warm it long enough to make it hot enough so that you're kind of scared to touch it. So there you go, and it'll lock it, and then let it cool. Don't put it in water or anything. Just let it sit there and cool until you can touch it, and then the Loctite will be set. Now, okay, so some of the parts. WD-40, always good. Teflon wax. Oops, sorry. I'm having trouble orienting myself today. Teflon multi-use dry wax lubricant. This stuff is awesome. I'm not endorsing this stuff. There could be other products that do this, that have, that are also Teflon wax lubricants. These are awesome for folding knives and butterfly knives, but not for automatic knives. You don't want to use this stuff on automatic knives. You want to use a light oil or a dry lubricant like a dry silicone or a dry graphite. You don't want to use too many wet lubricants in an automatic. But anyway, this is not an automatic video. This is a butterfly knife video. Sorry about the going off screen there, because I'm having issues orienting myself. I'll get it right. So anyway, that's that. Okay, here's my little logo here. Canada, oh Canada, love it, love the country. You're going to need some sort of caliper, micrometer. I'll use this one today. You can use the sliding ones, but this one's a screw type C-clamp micrometer, just so that you can measure all the 4 different washers and make sure that they're all generally very close to the same measurement. Now, onto these stainless steel washers. These are punched out of a piece of sheet metal, and it's going to be hard for me to show you guys, but on one side it's chamfered because the stamp stamps through and leaves a burr on the other side, around the outside edge and on the inside edge. So this is going to be an issue where you're going to have to use this sharpening stone, you take the rough edge, just put it against the sharpening stone, put your finger on it, not super heavy pressure, and just move her back and forth, little circular motions, zigzag, up, down. You kind of want to go X pattern, cross pattern, X pattern, cross pattern, circles, circles. And you can feel under your finger the rough spot. Now you don't want to go crazy. Like I said, I'm not pushing very hard at all. Just enough to make contact with the stone and make it even. You don't want to push harder on one side of the washer and not enough on the other side of the washer. That way you don't want to wear one side of the washer down. So that way it's wise to stop, turn the washer, repress it, and start going again, insert in your patterns, just so that you're wearing it evenly. And I don't know if it shows on camera, and I'm sorry if it doesn't. I'm trying to move it back and forth for the light. But you can see now I put a little scratch pattern where it has been raised. Now these raised areas will cause you issues binding and things like that. It'll make your knife operate a little stiff. So that's why I take this to the stone for a little bit, and I just go around a little bit like that. Nothing crazy. Basically, you're being gentle, you're massaging it. That's all, just a little bit like that. Okay, I'm not going to show you every washer because the video is going to start getting long. So what you do is, after you open up your package, make sure you got all your parts, the handles, the blade, all the hardware. These two pins go here. They will be part of the spring latch mechanism. These four washers go here, two here, two here. Okay, these two pins, they have a little, this one has a little screw hiding in the middle of it. Give me a second, guys. See, sometimes that's why I said it's good to find. There's a set screw that goes in the middle of it. That's a set screw. It's already in there. That one's missing it, but not missing from the package. The set screw is sitting right there. It just fell out in the Ziploc bag that it came with. So anyway, there's a little set screw that goes with. So these pins go here, and the set screw goes inside there. Now, these two screws go on the other side. They go onto the back side of this. All right. So I'm sort of laying it out for you guys that not so great with the, you're not very mechanically, you don't have a great mechanical aptitude, or you might be a little, spatial relations may not be a strength of yours. But I'm not dogging anybody. People have strengths and weaknesses. So anyway, I can see all these parts. A lot of people are like me, and a lot of people are not like me. I can see all these parts and put them together in my mind, and that's exactly how it works. It works perfectly for me. So it comes with those two little screws that go onto these posts for the latch mechanism. Okay, so this is all you really need. I just showed you the Teflon tape. You don't need Teflon tape for this build. You only need a little WD-40. The Teflon wax lube, you don't need really. You only really need WD-40. I use the wax lube after, when I have everything set up properly and I'm going to start using it, playing with it regularly. Okay, so I just these extra tools, they're just around just because they're just for prettiness. And the straight edge ruler, what I do is I take the ruler and I take the blade and I check to see if it's flat, just like so. Sorry, I wasn't off camera. I can't see the viewfinder. So I go on both sides and I kind of rock the ruler back and forth to make sure it's flat. And there is no rocking and there's no space between the ruler and the blade. This blade is absolutely true. There is a tiny little nick here on the blade, but that's nothing. I can just, with a ceramic stone, not this stone, but a little ceramic sharpening rod, like from Spyderco, those triangular ones, I'll just massage that nick out of there and that'll be fine. Not a big deal. Anyway, so all my parts are here. So I'm going to start putting together, I'm just going to, what they call dry fit. I'm not going to really do all the finish work, because inside these channels, if you look really closely, it won't show on camera. I'm sorry, it's just too small. But inside of these holes, you got to look really close. Sometimes there's a little bit of burrs from the drills, from the mills, right inside the holes, like the back side of that hole. There's a little bit of a burr. That shouldn't cause a problem with this particular position, but it might cause a problem here. And as I can see, and you probably cannot on the camera, there's no burrs on this, on the pivot, and there's no burrs on this either. Titanium handles, guys. Awesome. Really nice and light. I think I might leave it brushed. I don't think I'll polish these. I might polish them later, like when they start looking a little ugly with micro scratches and whatever. Then I'll take it to the polisher and put a mirror finish on it or something. But then it becomes a finger magnet and it becomes a scratch magnet. Brushed finishes hide scratches a little bit better. Anyway, you're going to get scratches. Too bad. That's just the way it works with metals. Unless the metal is super strong tungsten, you're going to get scratches. Anyhow, so let me just do some assembly here for you guys. All right, this one is pretty simple. You got a closed end on the spring and an open end on spring. The closed end goes on the top side, inside here on the top side. So this is going to be a little tricky on camera, especially, guys. I've never done this on camera. Okay, there's a flat head on one side. This is a first time for me, so I didn't try to put this together first to practice before the camera. And see, right away, it's not going in. And on this side, it's going in, but reluctantly, it's tight. So on this side, needs a little bit of chamfering, or I can just see, I just twisted it and pushed at the same time. And I'm going to blow here. And now it goes in. Okay? All I did was push the burrs out of the way. And with titanium is pretty hard metal, so the burrs are going to be pretty resistant. They're going to say, no, I don't want to move. So you got to kind of, sometimes you got to force it, but you got to force it properly. You got to force it square and not sideways. You can bend pins and things like that. If you bend stuff, it's your fault. It's not anyone's fault. You're going to have to buy a new pin. No one's going to give you a free pin or whatever. So, okay. Now you get that side. Now, it would be good to have a pair of needle nose pliers for this, but I'm going to see if I can just get this. Sorry, guys. You're not going to be able to see this until I'm finished. Let's see if I can do it from this side first. Can you see what I'm doing? I can't look through the viewfinder. Okay, see, I pinned it, but now I can't get it in underneath this particular block. So what I'm going to have to do is try to get it in from this side. And that's going to be a little tricky, just because of the positioning. I'm going to need needle nose pliers, I think, to hold that. I'm going to stop tape, and I'm going to grab needle nose pliers. That's one thing I didn't get. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Got needle nose pliers. Now, just grab the spring, position it the way you like. Okay, I got it now. Open end. Stick it in here. Sorry for the shake. And now, pin it. See, need one of those pliers, save the day. Now that's what you want to do. You want to have it pinned like this. All right. Then you take your 3mm long screw. Start them off with your fingers. Don't start them off with a screwdriver because you can cross thread. Start it off with your fingers and finish it off with your screwdriver. Alrighty. Now I'm not going to crank it down. I'm just going to till it's snug, till it stops for now. There's a flat side so you can hold one side with the screwdriver and then the other side with the other screwdriver. Right now, not concerned. Alright, with this one, as you can see, there's a hole for this pin. And there's a little tiny hole for the hook of the screw. Uh-oh, what did I do? I'm going to have to back it up. I moved too quickly. Let's do this fast so that the tape doesn't last forever, doesn't roll on forever. And I didn't need needle nose pliers in this case. What you should be doing then is first taking your, I'll drop the spring out, take your T-latch, hook it. Then with the T-latch, guide your spring in. Am I on camera? Sorry guys if I keep going off camera. Guide your spring in. Okay? And you still want to do this pin first. Because this pin you just stretch the T-latch open and then you pin the other one. Okay, so we'll pin this. I might have to move it back and forth to get the little loop of the spring on the pin here. This is difficult for me, much more difficult for me than it's going to be for you, because you're not going to be trying to do it on camera and keeping it in shot. And there we go. Just move it back and forth to get the loop of the spring over the pin. And it is through. Boom. All right. So it looks like that. And you can, you see, you can stretch this or push it in, stretch it out, whatever you need to do. But don't overstretch the spring. Don't yank on the spring. Just gently stretch it if you need to pin this other side, which we're going to do right now. So we're going to start the pin on one side, find the hole of the T-latch. So what I'm doing is, you can see I'm moving it back and forth so that I can, boom, there, I found it. And now push it all the way through. There we go. Now, 3mm screw. I mean, number T3 screw, not 3mm. Sorry, guys. Is a bit of a gentle fine-tuning thing here. You got to be careful. Get the right size T screwdriver. Don't get one too small. You'll strip the inside of these screws. If you strip it, no good. Got to get a new one. All right. Just putting it together. This is what I said, like I said, a dry fit. So that I can show you how they go together. I'm just snugging it. As you can see, it's just fingertip strength. Fingertip strength. Don't crank on it. Fingertip strength. Okay? It moves. Oh, this got jammed. Let's see why. Oh, I see why. The spring gets hooked on the edge of the hole. Yeah. That means later I'll take it apart, and the hole that goes in this direction, straight down, it's going to need a little what they call chamfering. The edge needs to be rounded off a little bit. You got to take a little fine file and file in that hole a little bit so that the spring slips across the metal instead of catches the edge. Not a big deal. You can get those cheap-ass file from a dollar store, because you're only going to need to use it once anyway, unless you're going to build a lot of these things. Then you go and buy yourself a nice set if you want to. All right, these set screws they just close the hole. They made it nice and neat. You don't even need that set screw for this thing to work, because you only need this to go on this side to keep your pivot together. This set screw just closes it so it looks nice and no dirt and gunk and crap goes inside. So the set screw, you open it up, and you can put thread locker from the back side, but like I said, in this case, these screws come with thread locker, and then you can just close her up just to keep it nice and neat. You could put a little thread locker on your set screw too, so that vibration and whatever doesn't back them out and you lose them if you want to keep them. I want to keep them, so I would probably wrap a teeny weeny little piece of Teflon tape. This stuff is like, I don't know if you know what Teflon tape is, but it's Teflon in the tape form, and what it does is it enables threads to lock in deeper because it provides lubricant with threads. So, but it also will provide a little bit of thread resistance, and it'll give you very light locking capabilities, not like a thread locker where it's locked in there pretty damn hard and you might even strip the screw trying to get it back out. With Teflon tape, it'll hold it in there and it won't be hard to get out when you use a screwdriver to get it out. So anyway, let's get the blade on. Dry fit. Okay, so remember, this is the bite side, this is the sharp side, and this is the dull side. So you kind of want to orient it so that when you're holding the safe handle, which is the one without the latch, all right, and this blade comes swinging around, you want the dull side against your knuckles. So it's going to have to go in this way. Okay, so take your pin, stick it in. All right, what I do is I stick it in so that it just pokes out like that a little bit, and I just hold it with my finger. Then I take a washer, and then I place it on like that. Then I take my blade, just careful I don't cut myself, and I back the, oops, this is the part that becomes a little bit funny. All right. Remember, I'm going to be fixing these washers later. I just want to put this together to show you guys. All right. Now, if it's going to be like this, closed, it's going to be like this, open. So I'm just going to, and I knocked the washer out of place again. Sorry, guys. This is, see, I got one arm going through the tripod, and then I got the other here. And it's becoming challenging. Okay. Let's do it again. All right. Make sure I got that washer in there. Yeah, okay. So I could push this all the way through while I'm getting ready with the other washer. Here's a trick. Take this washer, place it on your blade, stick it in until it touches that pin. Then take your screwdriver and just push the pin away while holding the other side of the pin with your finger, push the blade down, the pin down, until this has enough space to scooch in. All right, then you just want to shake it, twist it until the pin finds its way through. And it did. See, I seated the pin, and it's time for this screw. Remember, try to start it with your fingers, and this one's going to be hard because it's a stubby. So if you're going to start it with a screwdriver, be ginger. See, look at my fingers. And I'm going back and forth to make sure that the threads go in properly. And they do. See, nice and gentle. Okay, and just go in. The other side is spinning now, and that's what the set screw is for. I can't hold it with my finger to stop the other side from spinning. Okay, I can right now. I'm holding it really tight. But I got a pretty good strong grip, guys, so. This looks really tiny. Do I have a screw for this? Yeah, it is a T3. Okay, so I'm lucky. See, I didn't source it out. Like I told you, these are raw videos for you guys. I'm not, I don't rehearse these things for you. This is like right off the cuff, man. So I think I pushed that set screw in way too deep. Just back her up a little bit. Now, let's see if I can find a way to. That'd be nice if it had a little slot, little cut in here so that I can put a flat screwdriver against. Because now it's just spinning and I can't stop it from spinning. And it's a little annoying, but what are you going to do? Let's see if I can squeeze that in really tight and try to bury that screw. No, I can't. I cannot, and that is a pain in the butt. What pain in the butt? Okay, does this go all the way through? Unfortunately, it does. Too bad it doesn't have a seating spot. If it had like a little stopper inside this tube here, so that the set screw stops at a certain point, that way the set screw can act as an anchor so that I can do this. But I can't, because the set screw goes all the way down and touches the tip of this screw, and that's unfortunate in this case. Maybe Exiled Cutleries will take note of that and make changes. So, all right, I'm going to try again. What's stopping it is the thread locker. See, the thread locker is a pain in the ass. So, okay, for the sake of the video, so that I'm not frigging around with this thing so long and making the tape forever, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this dry fit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this screw. I'm going to strip the thread locker off it because it's being a pain in the ass for me and it's not working for me. And I'm just going to use it without a thread locker, and I'll add thread locker later. So for the other one, simple enough. You want the backs facing each other. So again, what you do is you take that pin, stick it in the bottom. Pretty easy, pretty fast. And with my sausage fingers, try to get that washer in there like that. Now I'm going to have to switch hands because of the sake of the camera. And see, and that's what I do. And then I take that washer, I place it flat on the blade, push it in, tuck it in underneath here. Makes it easy this way. Then you back this off until there's enough room to scooch it underneath. Then stick it in. Then we got this one going. See how much easier and faster it gets? Because the first one is a learning one, and the second one you're like, hey, I know what I'm doing. And oh, wrong screwdriver, see, because I'm on camera, sorry guys. And no, I didn't strip it because the T3 is so small, it spins freely in the T6 hole, and I'm not stripping it, so. But if you get a T5 in a T6 screw head, you'll strip the threads, you'll strip the head of it. That's no good. Okay, see, same thing. It's doing the same thing. It's just spinning round and round. There's no way for me to stop that from spinning around because these are spinning freely around in the pivot because the, so I guess what I'd have to do is heat these so that it becomes soft. And when it becomes soft, then I can bury it in. But the problem is, yeah, I'd have to heat it so that the thread locker gets liquidy, and then by holding this side, maybe I'll use a pair of rubber, something rubbery to hold it like this. This grip. Maybe I could do it now. Let's use this as a traction. Can you still see what I'm doing? Yeah, I think you can. Yep. See, I just buried it further. I just created some traction on the back side here. And as you can see, I buried those things even closer. Can you see the difference? This one I didn't do yet. This one I did just now. I buried it in. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put my finger, use this rubbery thing. You can use any kind of grippy rubber. And let's see if I can do this too. And I'm squeezing like crazy, like I'm trying to break somebody's finger or something. Yep. Okay, and I did it. Does it? See, and as you can see, tightened it too much. But at the same time, I have to say that I didn't sand the washers down or file the washers down on the stone. I'm just dry fitting it for you guys here. Now the knife is together, all right? So this one's stiff, see? But no big deal. I can back it off. But for the sake of the video, here it is all together, okay? I can't flip it, or I thought maybe I couldn't flip it because it was stiff. Can I latch this? No. This will need to be adjusted. What I'll have to do here is, there are two kickers, two stoppers, here and here. And this is going to be the tricky part. And this is the part that, you know, I won't be able to show you guys on camera because I have to take it to the, maybe I'll set up the camera in the garage. I'm not sure. But this and this, they need to be played with properly. What you want to do is you want to measure from here to here, or else you'll have something going on that's really uneven. We're at 15, 16, 17. Let's start again. Sorry, my eyes. We're at 15, 16, 17 millimeters. So what's half of 17 millimeters? It's 16 millimeters is 8, so it'll be 7.5. 7.5 millimeters is the center point of this blade right here. So what I'll do is I will mark a little line here, 7.5 millimeters. Put a little line, or like a very fine permanent marker. Permanent marker won't stick to steel. You can take it off with a WD-40 after. With a permanent marker, mark 7.5. So you'll have a 7.5 mark right here. And then from here to here, and from here to here, you take off a millimeter. Then you take off a millimeter. Then you retry this latch. Because this is hard. Unless I can really squeeze this son of a... no. I might have to take a millimeter off each side. So I take a millimeter off this side, a millimeter off this side, and then retry it. Okay? And then if it doesn't work, just, you know what I mean? Take the file and go zit once, and then the file over here and go zit once again, and then go like that again. When you start getting closer where that T-latch starts to get really close and it's about to latch with a little bit of spring pressure, that's when you got to be really fine finesse. Was I off camera? Sorry guys, I can't see through the viewfinder at the same time. I hope I didn't screw this up. See, when it's open, no problem. See, I gotta fix that the the spring where it travels through there. But the closed position, I cannot latch it. So I'm going to have to file these two sides off. So I'm going to pause video and I'll be back. Alright guys, I'm back. A couple of things to note. See this spring latch area here? Sorry, I'm going to have to try to get close. It might get fuzzy for a second. Can you see that? Hope so. Right there, the hook was open too far. And what it was doing when it was inside the channel, that hook, when this swung out, would hook the edge of that channel. See that oval shaped channel? The hook would hook that channel. So that's what the issue was for me. So what I did was I put the latch on. I took my needle nose pliers and I squeezed it down a little bit. Again, be very careful when spring material is good, but when you go past the elasticity point of metal, you can snap it or fatigue it, and then it'll snap if you try to move it again. So what I did was I very gently, and I mean gently, with needle nose pliers, squeezed this down a little bit. So okay, I'm going to assemble it now and see if it works. And again, I'm going to have to finagle this to get the pin in properly. I don't want to go off camera here, and at the same time I'm trying to look down inside this channel. Alright, I got it. That's good for you guys, so that way you're not sitting there staring at me playing with this stupid thing forever. Alright. And remember, these are kits, and as a kit they come rough, meaning you got to make some adjustments. They don't come adjusted. It's not about putting it all together and go. So you have to put it together, dry fit it. Things don't fit so great, so you're gonna have to take it apart again. Don't get pissed off if you gotta take it apart again. My first Balisong was a really rough kit. The cheaper ones, like meaning price wise, the lower cost ones are way rougher. There's more work you got to do to make them work properly. So that one took me a lot. It took me about a half a day to frig around with it. Try not to use language. I'll try not to say fuck so much. Anyway, there it goes. That goes in. There was a lot that I had to play with the other one, massaging metals, bending them in certain places, filing, sanding, everything else. This one's a higher end model, and things are much more precise. It's CNC machined, meaning it's computer controlled milling, and the parts fit better. Look at that. See? Magica. Anyway, so yeah, that's what I did. Was I didn't really have to file that like I suggested earlier, to file that channel down. I did with the file here a little bit. I just chamfered with the tip of the file. I just kind of ran it inside there very gently and just sort of rounded the edge a little, but it doesn't catch anymore, so there's no more issue. Now, to make this T-latch fit, it fits perfectly in the open position, but in the closed position, there's adjustments to be made, and quite a bit actually. So what I did was, and you see how now it fits? Before, earlier it wasn't, and now it does. And I like it tough. I don't want it really easy, because over the years things are going to wear out, and this is going to be sloppy, and I don't want this sloppy because this is a non-adjustable, but you can probably order the adjustable and stick it in there and, screw it down if you want to, or get yourself a new knife, whatever. So you squeeze it and it opens. So what I did off camera, sorry guys, I should have showed you on camera, but it's no big deal. This kicker, as you can see now, it's a little bit shiny here, shiny there. I took this edge of the sharpening stone, and very carefully, because you don't want to touch the sharpening stone across your blade. You'll fuck your blade up. See, I said fuck. So I'll replace, edit it and say I'll say frig instead of fuck. Okay, so sorry guys. Or you don't want to screw up the backside. You don't want to run your stone across parts of your knife that you don't want scratch marks. So you got to be very gentle and careful. So I just took that part right there, this right here, and I placed it against the stone, and I moved it. I don't want to grind it anymore because it's right where I want it. But as you can see that grind, see the mark there? That's what I did. I went back and forth, back and forth. Then I stopped and I checked and I checked and I looked and I fitted and I stopped and I checked and I checked. And I made sure that I was doing it square, because you can grind off one side and then not enough on the other side and have it looking stupid. So I stopped and I made sure that the angle that I was grinding at was square with the stone. Make sure you're square with the stone. And so what I did was I was kind of being, you know, as square as possible, just by eye. And now it fits the way I want it, just with a little bit of squeeze. I like it with resistance, because that way it doesn't open by mistake. This seats in properly, and with a little squeeze, it's open and it's ready to go. Okay, I didn't lube it up. I'm going to lube it up a little bit. Just a tiny little, oops, that's too much. Way too much. Just a little. There we go. Work it in. Wow, so much smoother just with a little bit of oil. Okay, there's your knife. Wow, this is pretty nice. I don't think I have to do anything more. Okay, another note that I told you about these little set screws in here. What you do is you push this down as far as they go, using, again, your finger on the back of one of these things, rubbery mats or something. You hold the one side, you screw this down until it's right where the firmness you want. Then you take that set screw and then you push the set screw down till the set screw touches the tip of the inside of this screw. And what you do is you just snug it, just a little snug, and it'll lock these in, and they won't back out with your flippy flippies. I could do this all day, and look, no blade play. Look, tick, 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 just a little tiny. You're going to have a little. With these, you have to have. The only way you can get a zero blade play is with bearing systems. And this is not a bearing system. This is just stainless steel washers with pins. All right, there you go. There's your assembly video. Exiled Cutlery. JB has been very good with me because, again, like I said, I'm not a knob with him. I don't cry. I don't scream. I don't plead. I don't, you know, oh, come on, please, help me. Help me, guys. Holy fuck, this is crazy. No, it's not crazy. This is awesome. I did it on camera, and I didn't practice. I just took it out of the package, and I put it together for you right in front. I didn't practice. Okay, this is the way it should be. It's a very simple system. You know what I mean? Very simple. All the other knives, if you got another model knife, give me a second. I'll pause. I'll grab my other knife. And I'm back. Okay. This is my other model knife. The Fu47 SS stainless steel. That's what SS stands for. Okay. This one is sloppier. That's just whatever, man. This is a lower end balisong, but lower end in comparison to this one. Okay. This is an awesome balisong. This is a really good balisong. They're way cheaper. They're not like the Chinese knockoffs. Chinese knockoffs, they're no good. They look like this, but they're not like this. This puts Benchmade to shame. Shame, Benchmade, shame. Shameth. Anyhow, I polished these, and it took me a lot to get these pivots to be happy with each other. Okay, it's sloppy. This is just the way this knife is. There's nothing you can do. You're spending $40. I think they're $40 or $50 after you convert it to Canadian and shipping and everything else. This is $55. What do you want for $55? You know what I mean? This is a great freaking knife. Sharp as hell. I cut myself 1,000,000 times with this fucking knife. And I don't care. I don't cut myself anymore with it. This one, look at it. Look, I'll shake this one. Silent. I'll even close it. The T-latch makes a little noise. But if I made that, if I stop the T-latch from moving, silent. Look at this one. The blade is click-clacking inside the handles. Nothing you can do. If I tighten it, then they don't move. If I loosen it, then they get too loose. You got to find that sweet spot. What I did was I put some oil on them, moved them back and forth, played with the pivots so many times. For like 2 weeks, I kept playing with this. Now this thing is like buttery smooth. Sorry guys, I'm on camera. I'm trying to miss the WD-40 can and not hit the table and everything. Sorry, this looks really shit under the camera. But anyway, but this is good. The way it is, it's good. It's got the adjustable T-latch, blah, blah, blah. Okay, this one, beautiful. I love this little knife. This is way lighter than this one. Way lighter. Isn't that nice? Brushed titanium. This still needs breaking in, guys, so it's going to resist my swings right now. And again, I have no space between the bottle, the camera, tripod, the camera, and the tabletop here. I have no space, so I can't really do my flips. So, but this one is really nice. It's where I want it now. Perfect. Stiff. I like it stiff. That's what she said. Hey, USA. Right on. Okay, guys, that's your tutorial. And what I was going to say, the other models, these models are the same. The way to put them together, they're the same. Except for, there's only exception between this one and this one is that this has the adjustable T-latch. This is not adjustable. If you screw up these knockers, these kickers, this is not going to fit right. It's going to be too loose. You're not going to be happy. This gives you forgiveness. If you adjust this, which I didn't have to on this particular model, but if you have to, and file that down, if you file it too much, way too much, no good, but a little bit too much, you're fine, because this can adjust and it'll give you different locking positions. All right. This one's right to the top. That means it gives me a lot of time, a lot of years for wear. And this one won't give me any years for wear if I screw it up. I can always buy another piece, or I can replace it with an adjustable. All right, guys, this is a long-winded video. I did it right there on camera. A little bit of oil, and she's happy. And all I got to do now is play with it. And when I play with it, it's going to get looser. And then what I have to do is back those set screws up again, snug these down a little bit again till it gets a little bit stiff, set the screws again, and keep playing. All right, guys, enjoy. If you got any questions, let me know. Put your questions at the bottom of the video. Exiled Cutlery has been very good to me. I am happy with the service. JB is awesome. I don't piss him off. He doesn't piss me off. That's just the way it works. We're being adults with each other. We're adulting. All right? You be an adult, be responsible, be patient, and he'll get back to you, because you're not the only one that has a question. He's got lots of questions and lots of orders to do, and so be patient. And I'm here to help too. Okay? I love helping you guys, and let me know if you like this video and or if you have any other questions. Enjoy. Bye.